If I go to the police, they won't bother looking for him. They won't care about bringing my boy home. No, they'll reach for Occam's razor. The simplest explanation to satisfy their righteous thirst for justice. And they won't have to search far for it. After all, I'm the one reporting him missing. A single father with a history of alcoholism, whose wife vanished 5 years ago. You couldn't ask for a better scapegoat. But God, believe me, I'd never hurt him. None of this is my fault. It's because of what he found buried in the sand. The voice in the shell. Tusk. That's what it calls itself. But it's going to be okay. Everything will be just fine. I found Nico's diary hidden under loose floorboards in his room. I haven't read it yet, but I'm certain it will clear my name, and it'll lead me to wherever he's been taken. For the record, I'll transcribe and post the diary online before reporting him missing. I don't want them seizing it and twisting my son's words to lock me away. This post is my insurance against their lies. I'll likely add my own notes for clarity. You'll understand why. My perspective is necessary. If I learned anything from the endless investigation into Sophia's disappearance 5 years ago, it's that one person's story is never the whole truth. Memory needs context. Marcus, May 16th, 2025, Dad said yes to the beach trip. It took some convincing, but we're headed to the coast this weekend. I know it's hard for him to go there since Mom left. The beach was her favorite place. He tries to hide his pain. Whenever I mention her, he looks away, like he can't control the grimace her name brings, but he doesn't want me to see it. I am 15. I can handle the truth, whatever it is. Last night, he was oddly cheerful, humming off key while making dinner, grilled cheese and sweet potato fries. Mine was burnt, but I didn't make a fuss. He still thinks it's my favorite meal, though it hasn't been for years. I didn't correct him. I thought he was drunk, too, but when I checked his usual hiding spots before bed, under the attic floorboards behind the shed, I found no empty bottles. Then he surprised me. When I asked if we could go to the beach tomorrow, he said yes. One after Sophia disappeared, I went through a rough patch and, I'm ashamed to admit, openly showed my anger toward her, even around Nico. She abandoned us, but I've since forgiven her. Now, thinking of her brings only a dull, aching longing. I try to shield Nico from it. He's been through enough. I've been sober for 3 years. May 17th, 2025, our day at the beach. The trip wasn't great, at least not at first. Dad was furious the whole drive, muttering jerks at other drivers and giving me one-word answers when I tried to talk. But after a few stops, his mood lightened. He asked about school, sang along to the radio, even laughed when I called a slow truck driver a jerk. I got carried away and made a mistake. I asked why Mom loved the beach so much. He went silent, stopped singing, and said he needed to focus on driving. Things got better at the beach, but then I lost Dad. We were building a sandcastle, and he said he needed the restroom. 3. About 30 minutes later, I finished the castle and, with nothing else to do, started digging a moat. That's when I found the hand. My shovel hit something soft. I thought it was seaweed, but then I saw a gold ring and a knuckle. It was a finger, wet, pliable, but not dead. When it twitched, I wasn't scared, not at all. Only now, writing this, do I realize how strangely calm I felt. I unearthed the whole hand. It was clenched into a fist. I looked around. The beach was empty. No people, no umbrellas, no towels. I didn't notice when everyone left. Well, almost everyone. Someone was watching from the water, four, only their blue eyes and dark hair visible above the waves. I looked back at the hand and touched it with my shovel. The fist creaked and slowly opened, fragile like a Venus flytrap. In its palm was a black, glassy seashell, the size of a baseball, covered in spirals and strange patterns. I held it to my face. It smelled of metal and sea salt. 5. When I pressed it to my ear to hear the ocean, there was no wave sound, just a whisper. I couldn't make out the words, but it felt good to listen. When Dad returned, his face was red and swollen with anger. I asked him to look in the hole. He refused, said he couldn't. 6. The rest of the day is blurry, but the shell was still in my pocket when we got home. 7. And that made me happy. It's on my nightstand now, and I can finally hear what the whispers are saying. It's someone or something human-like. An angel, maybe. Its name is Tusk. Tusk promises to set me free. 3-4 early in the season, the beach was packed. The line for the nearest restroom was at least 30 people long. Forced swimming was banned that day due to strong rip currents. 5, that's what Nico's room smelled like this morning. Briny salt and metal. 6, when I got back to Nico, there was no hole, no hand, no castle. He didn't ask about it. He sat there, stone-like, staring at the ocean, making a low, rumbling sound, unresponsive. He only snapped out of it on the way to the ER. 7, he did bring a shell home. It wasn't a hallucination, unlike the person in the water or the hand. But it wasn't in his pockets when they checked him at the hospital. I helped him change into a gown. There was nothing in his swim trunks but sand. May 18th, 2025. Tusk and I stayed home with Mrs. Winchester. Dad says we're not feeling well and need to rest. 8. So he made us stay home. I don't know what he's talking about. Tusk and I feel fine, but I'm not complaining about skipping an algebra test. The only downside is he asked Mrs. Winchester to watch me. 9. I'm 13 and I have Tusk. We don't need a babysitter, especially not some creaky old lady. 10. It worked out though. Tusk really wanted to go on an expedition today and was worried Mrs. Winchester would get in the way. At first, she did, which upset Tusk. The shell spirals burned my leg through my pocket. But I explained why we needed to go to the woods, let her hold Tusk, and told her how important the expedition was. She got it. 11. She even helped me find Dad's shovel in the garage. She wished us luck finding Tusk's crown. We were grateful. 8, Nico's been acting strange since the beach. The pediatrician suspected subclinical seizures and advised keeping him home until we know more. 9, Mrs. Winchester has been our neighbor for over a decade. Nico's like a grandson to her. When Sophia stopped taking her meds and disappeared for days, Mrs. Winchester looked after Nico while I searched for my wife. Sophia never liked her, though I never understood why. If she criticized Sophia, It was only to encourage her to be a better mother. She's been a huge help these past years. 10 Nico adored Mrs. Winchester. I've never heard him call anyone creaky. 11 when I got home from work around 7 p.m. The house was empty. I was about to call the police when Nico stumbled in through the back door, clothes caked in dirt, dragging a shovel. I'll admit, my panic looked like anger. I asked where he'd been and what happened to Mrs. Winchester. He repeated exactly what's written here. They were digging in the woods behind the house for Tusk's crown. That was the first time he mentioned Tusk. He didn't explain where Mrs. Winchester went. Her house was locked from the inside, her car in the driveway. She didn't answer when I knocked, so I called the police for a welfare check. Later, paramedics found her body. She was face down in her bathtub, fully clothed with the faucet running. The water was scalding the tub a cauldron. Her body was ravaged by the heat. Thankfully, her death wasn't from the bath, a sudden heart attack, instant death, then a fall into the water. The coroner estimated her time of death at around 9 a.m. But I called her at 6:30 p.m. on my way home to check in. She answered, said everything was fine, and Nico was doing better than usual. May 21st, 2025. I miss Mom. I've always wanted to know why she left for California without saying goodbye. 12. Now I think I'm starting to understand. Dad's a real jerk. He's always angry at the world, at Mom, at me. Even at Tusk. All Tusk has done is be honest with me. Talk to me when I'm down, more than Dad ever does. I'm glad he got burned trying to take Tusk. Served him right. Last night, I had a horrible dream. I was trapped under the attic floorboards, pounding on the wood, trying to get Dad to hear me. He was standing right above me. I could see him through the cracks. He had to hear me. The worst part? I think he did, but chose not to look down. Like at the beach with the hole in the hand. He refused to see. I woke up screaming. Dad didn't come to check on me, but Tusk was there, 13. Tusk has changed. It used to be just a voice, a whisper from the deepest spiral. Now it's grown. The shell's still on my nightstand, but a mist rises from it. It flows over me. Most of it doesn't look human, but the part near the head is a hand with a ring. It strokes my hair gently, and I feel safe. Maybe for the first time. Then Dad bursts in, 14, yelling that he has work tomorrow and we're too loud. He's sick of hearing about Tusk. He storms to my nightstand like a thunderstorm and tries to grab his shell. He screams and drops Tusk right back. His hand is burned and bleeding. It reeks. I laughed. I laughed and laughed and laughed. Then told Tusk I'm ready to be free. When I was done laughing, I wished Dad good night, rolled over, but didn't sleep. 15. I waited. At dawn, we found Tusk's crown, digging it up by the roots of a maple just half a mile behind the house. Tusk knew where it was all along. It just needed to know I was ready. 12 Sophia was obsessed with moving to the West Coast. She talked about it endlessly. So, when Nico was 8, I told him, "Your mom went to California. It's safer for a kid to believe his mother chased a dream than to burden him with the dark truth I've carried for 5 years." I wanted him to see Sophia as a wild, free spirit, not someone consumed by uncontrolled addiction. The investigation's closed, and everyone agreed. Sophia went to California. 13, if he was screaming, I didn't hear it. 14, I was walking from the kitchen past Nico's room. He called out to me. I thought he was asleep, so it startled me. I wanted to see what was so urgent at 3 a.m., and he asked the same question he's asked 10 times a day since the beach. Where's Tusk's crown? Where did you hide it, Dad? I can't vouch for what I saw next. It wasn't mist, it was smoke, thick and black like burning rubber. I didn't see a hand stroking him. I saw a gaping maw with gleaming teeth hovering over his head. I lunged for the shell to smash it. The room spun, probably from the toxic smoke. My palm still bears the spiral's mark. 15, I couldn't stand his laughter, so I slept downstairs. In the morning, he was gone, and his room smelled of salt and iron. May 21st, 2025, a message for you, Marcus. By the time you read this, we're gone. And if you haven't figured it out, this diary was written for you. When you found it, did you wonder how long Nico had been keeping it? Did he ever mention journaling before? Or maybe he talked about it all the time and you just didn't listen? Or perhaps he never kept a diary in his life. Hard to say for sure, isn't it? The ambiguity burns, or gnaws, or drowns you. Hey, don't mope. Chin up, champ. There's always a foolproof way to dodge the tough questions without answering them, avoiding the pain and consequences. You're an expert at that, right? Of course. The master, the alpha and omega. Bury them. Grab a shovel at night. Head to the empty lot and dig. Bury your anxiety, your doubts, your rage. Bury them with the questions you don't want to face. Out of sight, out of mind, right? And if a stubborn question clings to the surface, wink, no big deal. Those need extra measures. Beat them down, wear them out, break them, burn them, drown them, bury them. Sound familiar? Either way, Nico and I are gone. Don't worry about that either, tough guy. I'll be generous. I'll tell you where we're headed. California. We're definitely going to California. Oh, one last thing. Wondering why Tusk? A silly joke? Or a better riddle? Don't strain yourself. You don't need to bury this one. I'll help. Our son kept asking about Tusk's crown. What wears a crown? Kings? Queens? Beauty pageant winners? Teeth? A dental crown? The kind that goes on well-worn molars? The kind that identifies a long-decayed body? By its dental records, say? I can practically taste your horror. What a thrill. Why am I still typing? You're probably screaming inside, eyes glazing over, fingers moving on their own. Why have I lost control? If you thought Tusk's crown was a bad joke, buckle up. Here's a worse one. You never had control, coward. You've always been spiraling. You just hit it well. Not anymore. Nico dug up my skull. Marcus. The police are probably prying the rest of me out of the ground while you type. It's over. Sit tight until you hear the sirens. Then I'll let you go. I'll give you a head start. You've earned it. You've had to swallow a lot of your own garbage while spilling your guts. I am satisfied. I hope you've learned something, but I'm not holding my breath. Yes, a proper goodbye feels good. Sweet, blissful closure. Good luck and fair winds on the run. With love, Sophia.